welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen and this is episode 222. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you are a new viewer, thanks so much for checking out this podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, spinning, hand-dyeing yarn, and sewing, and making all the things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live, with my husband Dennis and our adorable kitty, Bella, who may or may not decide to join us at some point. But as always, I'm always happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about all those things with me. I know there are many other podcasts out there, and as the Legacy Knits girls say, thank you for choosing to fly with me. So yes, no major huge announcements this week other than I have a couple finished objects to share with you. We're gonna talk shop update, sewing, and a couple of other things. Let me check my show notes. First thing that I wanted to just mention quickly is that I have started doing a Voolenvine Yarns newsletter. So if you are interested in purchasing any of my yarns, I will talk shop update at the end of the episode, but just to give those of you who are interested, just again a heads up, if you go to my website voolenvineyarns.com, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a place where you can just enter your email, and then every week you'll get a email just keeping you in the loop as far as when updates happen, special events, news, and the like. So yeah, hopefully I will just keep on the ball with that. But yeah, just FYI. And then yes, show notes. See, I always forget to mention these important little details at the top of every episode. Show notes for this episode and every episode can be found over at yarngasmpodcast.com. If you would like to follow me, I am at Voolenvine on Instagram, where I'm most active on social media. We do have a Facebook group, but I haven't really posted in there in a while. But you can also follow me on Ravelry. I'm Voolenvine on there as well. And if you have not joined already, we do have a very active, very inspiring YarnGasm Ravelry group. And if you haven't already joined, we do have a YarnGasm Ravelry group where you can go to share your projects, chat, join in and participate on some of our knit-alongs that we are currently hosting, and enter to win prizes, and just a general form of inspiration and lively chatter. So definitely hop on over there and check it out. And yes, so I think that is it for intros and whatnot. But I do also want to quickly mention that Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast has just released a new pattern called Snow Day. It's absolutely beautiful. I saw it in person at Vogue Knitting Live, and she just so generously offered up one as a giveaway prize to one of you lovely viewers. So all you have to do to enter to win a copy of this beautiful pattern is to hop on over to the YarnGasm Ravelry group, join, and in the thread that I've created for this giveaway, just simply let me know what pattern of Mina's is your favorite. What patterns have you knit, or what pattern would you like to knit? Just drop me a line in there, and next week I will use a random number generator to select a winner and let Mina know who has won. So yay! Thank you so much, Mina, again for the generous giveaway. I cannot talk today because I have not had my coffee. But yes, I have coffee today in my new favorite mug, by the way. This came in the mail during the week, and yeah, because I'm a nasty woman and I get done. So, but this mug is actually from, I got it on Etsy. It's from Fabulously Feminist, and yeah, she has a lot of really fun feminist swag, if you will. So yeah, definitely check out her stuff. It's unlike any other kind of, you know, pro-femme gear I have ever seen. It's very decorative and it looks lovely, and yeah, so definitely check out her Etsy shop. I will post a link in the show notes if you're curious. But anyway, in my new Nasty Woman mug is coffee. I have coffee today. Nothing fancy, just Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut, and it gets the job done basically. So anyway, okay, let's get on to what I have to talk about this week. Knit-alongs. We do have 3 knit-alongs underway, and as always, if you do not want to hear about knit-alongs, I'm posting a timestamp in the down bar so you can skip ahead to what I've been working, finished objects, and the like. But yes, just to quickly mention some knit-alongs that we have currently going on underway. Oh goodness. Just to quickly cover some knit-alongs that are currently going on right now. We have the 2017 box of socks, a year-long knit-along where you just knit at least 12 pairs of socks, put them in a box, and come 2018, you open a box and you have a nice fresh box of socks to wear to get you through the next winter. So definitely hop on over to the YarnGasm Ravelry group to see what that's all about if you are totally unfamiliar. It's a lot of fun. And I did create a bundle for the box of socks, Cal, in case you're curious. It's actually if you just go to the YarnGasm Ravelry group, and in one of the tabs at the upper top of the screen, there's a bundles tab. Just click that and then you'll see just a place where we're sharing all of our favorite socks that we're knitting for the knit along. So thank you. I'm totally blanking on whoever suggested I do that, but thank you for suggesting that I do that, because I think it's a brilliant idea. So check it out. Next up we have the honey pullover cal that I'm co-hosting with Nina from the This Old Knit podcast, and it kicked off December 1st and it's ending, I believe we extended the deadline, so March 1st is the new deadline. And yeah, so if you have not joined, it's the we are knitting the honey pullover by Amy Miller, and you can either knit the adult version or the child's version, so whatever you fancy. And then finally, last but not least, we have the Voolenvine Yarns shawl along, which is happening over in the Voolenvine Yarns Ravelry group, which is a separate group from the podcast group, in case there's any confusion there. But that kicked off December 1st and then that is ending March 1st. So there's still time to join. And yeah, for details on that, just hop on over to the thread and check out the details. Okay, I'm gonna move along to finished objects. So let's move along, shall we? I always feel so winded after the intro because there's just so much information to get out. So forgive me if I was rambling, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of information that I'm trying not to forget and trying to get out, and just covering all my bases, if you will. But anyway, scooting this chair next to me over, I have two finished objects to share with you. And the first one is, I had a hoe last week that I shared with you, and these are, I'm calling these my Vogue Knitting Live socks because I knit the first sock while at Vogue Knitting Live. So I have a full pair now. They're done. I thought that they would be identical, but I accidentally I added an extra stripe to the second sock that I probably shouldn't have added in there, but you know what? It doesn't bother me at all. They start out identical and then they just kind of end mismatched, which is totally fine. But yeah, the yarn is Jinx Yarns on her Glitz base in her Preppy Gothic Mermaid colorway, and I absolutely love the way these turned out. And yeah, she basically dyed this, was inspired to dye this colorway after me and our friend Maria, who is the host of the Cables and Crew Next podcast. And we're all friends, and you know, we've been chatting for years, you know, even though we live in different places now, we just maintained our friendship over several years. And yeah, she, in honor of that, she dyed up a colorway, which could not be more fitting, I think. So let me see, Laura is obviously the mermaid, so she loves silver, and here's some teal. And then Maria is Greek, and she's very preppy, loves J. Crew, so she gets the navy blue and the white. And yeah, I get the mauvey purples and the blacks. So, and who knew? They go together so well, I think. So anyway, Laura, you did an awesome job dyeing this up. I'm so sad that I'm done knitting with the yarn, but I'm definitely going to covet the yarn that I have left over, put it into my granny stripe crochet blanket, which I have not touched in so long. But anyway, I'm very happy with the way these turned out. And yeah, they're just, again, just so many happy memories knit into at least this sock, because Vogue Knitting Live is just so awesome and so fun. And if you want to hear me wax poetic anymore on Vogue Knitting Live, just watch the last episode. But yeah, and if you're curious, I did a cuff down fish lips kiss heel and grafted toe, 1x1 twisted rib cuff. Anyway, so yay, that is one finished object. The next one, this has been a labor of love, you guys, but it is officially done. This is my Trekkia hat, or Trekkia hat by Michelle Wong, and it is done. I love this hat so much. Words cannot describe how much I love this hat. It is so soft. It's like a little rabbit on my head when I wear it. And yeah, the yarn, again, buttered kittens. It's just so delicious. It's lovely. And the yarn is the Fiber Company's Road to China in their hematite colorway, I believe. And this took 2 skeins. It's, I believe sport weight yarn. I believe it's sport weight yarn, yeah. But it is so soft. There's so much, I believe there's yak, there's silk, there's cashmere, Angora. I lost the tag. Let me see if I can find, here's the other one. I have two more skeins in a lighter color, but it's 65% baby alpaca, 10% cashmere, 10% camel, and 15% silk. And each skein has 50 grams and 159 yards. And this actually took up pretty much, I was afraid I was going to be playing a little bit of yarn chicken, but I did have, you know, about like an ounce of yarn left over. So 2 skeins was perfect for this, and let me try it on. And I will say it did get to a point where the hat had to end. I was just, while I enjoyed knitting it, it was a little challenging because this has such a big halo to it, just doing the cables, or, you know, wrangling the cables as I was knitting them got a little tedious, and it just got to a point where I was like, oh my god, this has to end. It was the black hole of hats, if you will. And but I just powered through it. I watched some podcasts, watched some Netflix, but lo and behold, it was pretty much done. And this is pretty much why I have not made much progress on my projects that I'm about to share with you. I did make some progress, but yeah, it has the most perfect slouch. I blocked it. I did not block it on a plate, if you are curious. I just kind of blocked it and laid it out flat to dry, and it definitely loosened up and bloomed even more so. But let me see if I can turn around. Yeah. So, but if you love cables, this is probably the pattern for you. It has a tubular cast on, which makes it very clean and finished, or has a very polished look to it. So I'm a huge fan of that now. I really want to start memorizing how to do a cabled cast on, because I still find it a little tricky. I usually have to refer back to a tutorial, or, you know, what have you. You understand what I'm saying. But it's definitely worth the extra effort and time, because it does take a little bit extra TLC to get a project going if you're going with a tubular cast on. But yeah, I love this hat so much, and it matches my outfit, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, love it. And it's, again, super warm, super fluffy, and I'm gonna take it off because I'm gonna be sweating pretty soon. Yeah, and words cannot describe again how much I love this. So yay, I believe this is the first finished, aside from socks, this is pretty much like the first finished item for 2017. Yay. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm going to use this yarn for. When I purchased these skeins, the idea was that I was going to knit them together as like a shawl or something, like a 2-colored contrasting shawl. I don't know, but apparently that didn't happen. So I don't know. Well, we'll see what this becomes, but that's one thing. The next thing on my needles, I guess we're moving along to what's on my needles at the moment, works in progress, and living in my Voolenvine Yarns Winter Wonderland Bambi, I guess you could call it Bambi project bag that I sewed up for myself, is a new sock cast on. And as you recall, last week I was very determined to really start enjoying knitting 2 at a time socks, because every time it was a fail. It was just a 2 at a time sock fail, and I told myself I really just want to get it. I want to like knitting 2 at a time socks, and this was going to be that pair of socks. But you guys, I hate it. And I hate saying something like that about knitting, but it is a technique that I am just not enjoying. But I did cast on the skein of Into the World that I purchased at Vogue Knitting Live. So yeah, this is how far I got with, I can do it. I know how to knit 2 at a time socks. It's just, the process is not happening for me. Had I been knitting 1 of these socks, 1 at a time, I would have already been well past the heel at this point. So it's really just, it's very cumbersome for me. It's not relaxing. just very fiddly. And I know many of you have suggested using 2 circular needles, but I feel like that would just add to the madness. I think I even tried that with my Christmas. No, I did try that with, sorry, I have fluff in my eye. I did try that with my Christmas socks, the Jinx, what is it, the Naughty or Nice colorway that I was knitting up for my Christmas socks. I was actually using 2 circular needles to knit 2 at a time socks, and it just was not happening. So yeah, sadly, this is, I believe, my 3rd or 4th attempt at knitting 2 at a time socks, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna call it and just say it's not for me. It's really not for me. I would rather achieve second sock syndrome. I would rather contract second sock syndrome than go through this, because it is not fun knitting for me. So yeah, I'm gonna separate the twins and knit them solo, because I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, I'm using, if this colorway looks familiar, this is Lorna's Laces in her shepherd sock in her, I believe it's patina colorway, and I use this for my Jack and Sally socks, another Jinx Yarns colorway that I knit up as socks. So yeah, I'm just kind of working my way through that skein, because it does go with a lot of colorways that I like. So but yeah, this colorway here, the main colorway, if I can get that to focus, is Into the World in their Vampires of Venice colorway. So really love the way it's knitting up, and I would like to make it an enjoyable knit, because I love the colorway so much. And as you can see, I already dropped a stitch here. Yeah, not cool, not cool. But anyway, we'll fix that in post-production in the knitting world. So anyway, yeah, so I even separated the balls into 2, I guess, 50-gram skeins. So anyway, enough of that, and yes. So anyway, that's all she wrote for trying 2 at a time socks again. You know, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, and living in my Hannah Made It project bag is my honey pullover. Again, this is part of a knit along that I'm co-hosting with Nina from the This Old Knit podcast, and I keep stressing her name every time I say it, because I always confuse it. I don't confuse it, but I just want to emphasize that it's Nina, not Mina, because I've been known to accidentally say Mina when I meant Nina. But anyway, I'm sorry Nina, I'm sorry Mina. I mean, this time around it's Nina. So Nina from the This Old Knit podcast and I are co-hosting the Honey Pullover the Honey Pullover Cowl, which is a pattern again by Amy Miller. And last week I had a little bit of a stitch incident where my stitch count was slightly off, but I remedied it this week. I sat down and just figured out where my stitches should be, and I honestly just fudged it. I was either short 1 or 2 stitches on the arms and the back and the front, so it was really no big deal. I wasn't going to tank back, and now I'm just adding a couple more inches in length to, you know, to make sure that it fits on the underarms and whatnot. So anyway, yes. But yes, this yarn is my hand-dyed yarn. It's Voolenvine yarns on my Volca base, which is cloud in German, in case you're curious. In the main color right here is Tega, and then here the contrasting color is Dirty on Purpose. And I'm not alternating skeins, which I'm totally fine with. But you know, I really actually enjoy the effect that it's having, where you get some, I don't know if you can see that, but you get some darker stripes and some lighter stripes depending on where the variegation is. So I love the way that's turning out, so I'm gonna fly with it. So yeah, I think I have like another couple rows before I get to separate the sleeves, and then it will actually start looking like a real pullover. So anyway, that is that. And I'm using, let me see, Hi Sharps US 4/3.5 millimeter needles, Hi interchangeable sharps, which I love. So before I get into the next work in progress, I just want to quickly mention that this past weekend I received a really awesome package in the mail from Chelsea of Darn Yarn MN. She has an Etsy shop and she makes these really cute, adorable peekaboo project bags. And she actually offered one up as a giveaway a while ago, and she totally surprised me. She said that she had some extra bags left over from her holiday, whatever she made for the holidays, and this one bag was not selling, but she said she knew that I would really appreciate it because of the fabric. And she could not be more right because, yeah, it's the zombie fabric, same one as Hannah made it. So I now have a small zombie pinup project bag, and then now I have a very large zombie pinup project bag. So yeah, this time I get a nurse holding a brain purse, I guess. No, she's just holding a brain like a zombie nurse does. And yeah, it has this awesome peekaboo window so you can actually see what's inside of your project bag. Because yeah, so half the times I totally forget what's in my project bags. But Chelsea, thank you so much. This is awesome. And yes, I totally appreciate this. This is so awesome. And yeah, it's, I love it. So yay, I'm happy I have different size options now when it comes to zombie pinup girl project bags. So anyway, yeah, again, totally caught me off guard. And yeah, she said it was partially a birthday present too. So yay, thank you. Mwah. But living inside of it now is, and as I mention every week, my projects generally shift from project bag to project bag because I just grab whatever's available. But yes, living in this one at the moment is my Find Your Fade. And I have to be honest, I really didn't make much progress on this since I last showed it to you. Only because I was finishing my Trekkia hat. I wanted to get that done and off the needles before it gets cold. And ironically, the weather has, well, it's been very rainy and dreary, and we actually had a nor'easter this past week, so I really didn't get a chance to wear it. So, but I feel like it's the calm before the storm, so I'm sure I will get plenty of wear out of it this winter. But I'm glad it's done and off the needles and ready for me to grab when it does get chilly out. But anyway, back on the subject, I digress. Here's where I am with my Find Your Fade shawl. Everyone's knitting this, pretty much, practically everybody. Just taking the knitter community by storm. And yeah, I'm still on the third colorway. And it is Hedgehog Fibers in Birthday Cake on her Skinny Singles base. And then the third color is, again, Hedgehog Fibers, Skinny Singles in the Hush colorway. And then this is Skinny Dipping in her, again, a merino single in her Space Pants colorway. And it matches my nails, you guys. I have space nails. How cool is that? Yeah, you guys are probably wondering, because I know I'm gonna get questions about this after I post this, so I might as well just tell you here. The nail polish that I am wearing, again, I'm going off tangent here. I apologize if you really don't care about this stuff, but the nail polish I am wearing is Essie in No More Film. And then I purchased this one. It's like a purple glitter from Forever 21, like eons ago. And it's just a purple glitter. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but you can buy it for like $2 at Forever 21. So anyway, FYI, so back to Find Your Fade. Yeah, so I'm all done knitting. Well, I have, I think, about four more rows of eyelets left to knit before I get to start melting the colors. And I think I found my next fade. And again, I'm sticking with the Hedgehog Fibers here because it just makes sense, because why not? This will just be my Hedgehog Fibers shawl, you know? I think I'm gonna go with Budgie, and I purchased this yarn at Vogue Knitting Live, so yeah, I think this one has to come next. And then I have no idea what's gonna come after that, but you know, one fade at a time, right? That was the plan at the beginning, from the get-go. That was the plan, so I guess I'm sticking to it. So yay, there's my Find Your Fade. And also living in this project bag is a new cast on. Nothing really to write home about yet, but if you are not familiar, KT from Inside Number 23 is hosting an Andy Satterland knit along. So you can knit any pattern by Andy Satterland, and I wanted to join him because I really do love her patterns. I've never knit one before, but I really like the patterns that KT has knit up, and I want to join in on the fun because I did dye up some I Am No Bird on my new cocoon base, which is an Aran Weight 2-ply BFL. Really lovely, and I really wanted to knit a sweater out of it. And of course, lo and behold, Andy Satterland actually has 2 Aran Weight patterns, or 2 cardigan patterns that call for Aran Weight yarn. And I was like, perfect. So I knit a swatch last night, got gauge, and cast on. So here's where I am, and this is the Hetty cardigan. And again, this is my hand-dyed yarn, Voolenvine yarns, in the I Am No Bird colorway, and I really love the way it's knitting up. Yeah, so again, nothing huge to write home about. I cast on, this is the back, it's all knit in one piece, so it's kind of an adventure for me. But yeah, what I did want to mention is I did get gauge because the pattern called for US size 8 needles, and I was looking at the measurements, and the smallest bust size is a 32, and itty bitty titty committee here. I am a 32. Well, the smallest bust size was a 33. I am a 32. So, and you know, going by Amy Herzog's theory, where you should have what is it, negative ease in the bust area, I decided to go down a needle size to kind of help that out there, if that makes any sense. And also the pattern does say it's best worn with 0 to -2, I think, either, I don't know, like either a 0 to -1 or 2 inch ease. So I think this will definitely help me out, and it's a cropped cardigan. But because it is superwash yarn, I know that superwash yarn generally stretches vertically. So fingers crossed it'll all work out. The fact that it's superwash, it'll help me out, that it'll stretch vertically. Anyway, I'm rambling on about this way too much, but very excited to have it cast on. I know Gabby from the Once Upon a Corgi podcast has cast on a Chuck cardigan, and I was watching her podcast yesterday, which is what actually kicked me and motivated me to finally, you know, get the swatch done and get it cast on. So thank you, Gabby, for that that spurt of inspiration there. So anyway, yay, new project. I guess I will move along to sewing, because I do have some sewing to share with you guys. Well, I guess first I will talk about what I am currently wearing, and this is technically my Rhinebeck dress. I wore this to the India Entangled Trunk show when I was vending there, and it's one of my favorite dresses that I've ever sewn. It's a contrast top or whatever. I believe is it Butterick? I cannot remember the name of the pattern, but I will put it in the down bar. I hacked the pattern ever so slightly, where the original pattern is just one piece for the bodice, and then I just kind of did a little sweetheart detail here. So I cut the pattern in half in a little sweetheart shape, and then tacked on 5/8 of an inch seam allowance to either piece where they would be sewn together. So yeah, I was able to do like a contrasting lace panel, and then, you know, regular rest of the dress. So let me stand up to show you. Yeah, so here it is. Love it. It's double gauze, the fabric, and I purchased this from Mood. Again, I love working with double gauze. It's one of my favorite fabrics to work with. And yeah, it's just a plain, simple, I don't know, I'm wearing a belt with it, but it has just a simple waistline. Oops, sorry, I keep shifting my camera tripod this week. I don't know what's up with that. So I apologize. Anyway, so that's my ensemble for today. But if you follow my Instagram feed, you know that I have dipped into my seafoam fabric, my seafoam broadcloth and lace that I purchased. It was supposed to be my Christmas dress, didn't end up happening, so now it is my birthday dress that I'm working on. And this is a pattern from Gertie's Ultimate Dress Book, which I highly recommend if you love vintage styles, vintage dresses. She spells everything out for you. You definitely feel like she's holding your hand while you're going through each step. Her directions are very clear, and you know, the one snafu that I made is just purely my fault because I don't like to read directions. But I am making the pink lace party dress, except mine is gonna be seafoam green. So super pretty. Yeah, and it has boning and everything like that, but let me show you where I am with that. So here's where I am with it, and yeah, as you can see, it is this beautiful lace, like mint colored lace over kind of like a jade seafoam green underlining, which is actually made of broadcloth. So here's the outside, and then here is the inside, the lining. And you can see that it's fully boned. Surprisingly, I really enjoy installing boning. There's something so gratifying about it. But yeah, here's the lining on the inside, and then if I just lift this up, you can actually see the boning channels. And I only had, if I had white, I probably would have used white boning channels, but that's all I had. So, and it wasn't gonna show on the other side, so I figured I'd just roll with it. And as you can see here, there is actually some horsehair braid along the neckline, if you can see that. And this is my first time working with horsehair braid, and it is pretty wonky to work with. But this just adds a little extra dose of structure to the top, which I very much appreciate, because I have a hard time generally I have a hard time keeping the straplessness of a dress up all the time. So, but anyway, hopefully this will do the trick. And the fact that a lot of Gertie's patterns are very vintage, and the fact that they're very form-fitting. There's rarely any ease at all to any of her patterns. But the one snafu that I did make while doing this, I thought that I had to baste the lace pieces to the underlining piece and then sew it together as one, if that makes any sense, which that's what I did. And after reading through the directions, I was like, okay, now how do I stitch the lining to the outside? And I realized, oh no. So basically, if I can explain this correctly, I had to cut out each pattern piece 3 times. One for the lining, one for the underlining, and one for the lace overlay, if that makes any sense. Ideally, I was supposed to sew those separately and then join the underlining to the lining, and then flip it inside out, and then add the lace overlay. And I actually, I stitched the lace overlay to the underlining first, sewed it together as one piece, and then I'm at the place where I am now. But I am going to fudge it, because you can hide a multitude of sins on the inside of things. You'd be quite surprised. So here you can see along the neckline, I had to do some zigzagging and folding over, because I did have horsehair braid that I had to work with and just kind of situate. So what I'm going to do is, if you can see this right here, there's like a little sandwich. I'm going to blind hem stitch, or blind stitch this layer, these 2 layers together. It's gonna take me some time, but I think that is definitely a loophole where I can make it work. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, you guys. So that's where I am with this. Not panicking just yet. So, and this weekend I am going to work on the skirt. So I should have a dress by my birthday, which is on Tuesday. But I love the way this is turning out, you guys. So very happy with it. And yes, definitely very form-fitting. So I don't know. I don't know if Dennis has anything planned, but I hope we go somewhere fancy. Just saying. So I don't want to stick myself with a pin. So anyway, that is where I am with that. Next up, I guess, yeah, that is it for sewing. Oh, no. I have a fabric haul to share with you, because I was a little naughty and I treated myself. I'm telling you, all bets are off for birthday month. I really need to stop. But I did treat myself to some new fabrics, because I do want to make a couple more just basic everyday wear, mainly Anna dresses. You guys, I could live in Anna dresses. I just love that pattern so much, and it's just so flattering for my figure. I seriously could make 10 more again. But anyway, I'm sure I'm gonna make other things aside from that. I definitely want to work my way through Gertie's dress books, or I have 2 other sewing pattern books, 2 other pattern books by her that I want to work through. But anyway, here is, I went to fabric.com, and I've been eyeing this fabric for quite some time and never bit the bullet, and finally I did. But I got some green octopus fabric, and I love this so much, you guys. It is awesome. But yeah, it's double gauze, again, my favorite. And I think this is Henry, totally blanking on who designed this fabric. It's Birch Organic Maritime. And yes, so I noticed there, oh, it's got a little stretch to it. I almost want to call this jersey fabric. This feels very much like jersey for some reason, and I thought it was double gauze. Curious. Anyway, I have to double check my receipt. But anyway, yes, so either way, I love the fabric and I'm definitely going to use it. So there's that. And then I purchased some more double gauze fabric in a gray, very similar to this one. And this is by Kaufman. And yeah, it's just a very soft, very heathered gray basic fabric. So really love it. I got 4 yards. And I do get asked a lot about people who are just dipping into sewing. Like they want to know for a dress, like they don't know what pattern they want to sew per se, but they do want to purchase the fabric just so they have it to sew it later. And for a dress, I would say you're safe with about 3 to 4 yards. You know, I would go the extra, I would get the extra yard of 4 yards, because I noticed a lot of dress patterns, especially if you want like a full skirt. I know a lot of Gertie's patterns call for at least like 3.5 to 5 yards for those full circle skirt dresses. But if you want to play it safe, I know the Anna dress, you are good with 3 yards. So again, it depends on your measurements. Definitely check the finished garment. Definitely check the measurements on the back of the envelope. You know, if you have an idea of what pattern you might want to sew or what style you might want to sew, definitely check the back of the envelope and see what yardage they recommend, because chances are you might come across another similar pattern that you like even more, but it does call for a similar yardage. So, but yeah, I would say anywhere in the ballpark between 3 to 5 yards, you are a go. Yes. So anyway, I hope that helps. And next up, I also purchased, this is kind of, I'm showing you the boring ones first, but I also purchased some double gauze in black because I need myself a little black Anna dress. It just goes without saying. But this one has kind of like a crepe to it. But again, very soft. I don't know, let's see that. It has a little bit of texture to it. So yeah, this will do nicely, I think. So there's that. And then I also purchased some plaid. I do not wear plaids very often, but this one, I don't know, like I don't know if I want to make something for myself with it or something for Dennis, but it's a gray flannel plaid. So this would either make a really pretty skirt, a dress, I don't know, or just a shirt for Dennis. We'll see. Very excited about that one. And then, of course, I purchased some more lace for something, you know, and I can do these lace panel inserts. So very basic, nothing fancy. Well, lace, I guess it is kind of fancy, but yeah, let me see. There we go. Don't want to unfold this too much, but it's just a very simple floral design. There we go. So that'll be nice just to have in my stash. I did get some fun quilting cottons with some fun prints, just to, you know, whip up the odd project bag for myself or a friend. But yeah, these, I could not resist getting these. Got some mermaids. And then this one has to be my favorite because narwhals. I love this so much. So yeah, you notice like a sea creature theme going on here. The octopus, the narwhals, the mermaids, could not resist. So that is my fabric haul. I am interested to see what I decide to make with all this. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm so glad my sewing mojo is coming back, and just, you know, looking forward to sewing all the things again. And I have like a lot of stuff happening outside my door, so. I realized I had something hooked around my tripod, so every time, and my chair, so every time I move back and forth, it would just drag everything around. So I apologize for the shakiness of this episode. But anyway, that is my fabric haul, my sewing news. But I did receive another gift in the mail from the lovely and amazing Casey of the Creative Musings podcast. She had contacted me, I believe it was last week, about she had an extra copy of a sewing book and she wanted to know if I wanted it. And of course I was like, yes, I would love it. So thank you so much for thinking of me, Casey. This is absolutely perfect. But she sent me a copy of Sew You Home Stretch, the Built by Wendy Guide to Sewing Knit Fabrics. And I was definitely in the market for something like this because I do have some stretch fabrics and jerseys that I want to get better at sewing with, and you know, it's just, she said it's a very good book for demystifying all those, you know, questions and, you know, like helps you troubleshoot all those things that come up when you sew with jersey, which I definitely struggle with jersey a little bit, I will be totally honest. But it has all the patterns in here and I cannot wait to devour this. So thank you so much, Casey. But I should also share with you, she also sent me some minis for my crochet granny stripe blanket, which are so pretty. I love these. She also sent me some chocolates, which I am trying not to eat in one day because I do love chocolate. But this has to be my favorite. You guys, I just have to share this card with you because it is like my favorite thing right now. It's unicorn toile. And it's just like, if I could have wallpaper like this, my whole office would be just wallpapered in unicorn toile. It is so pretty, and you have rabbits, you have a jackalope in there, and there's a shooting star. I love this so much. So Casey, thank you. This was so awesome, and her note was lovely. So anyway, yay. So yeah, okay. And that is it for sewing, I believe. I am going to move along to shop update because I am having an update on Monday. It is our monthly international friendly shop update, which is again open to everybody, just at a different time for our friends across the globe who cannot make the usual Friday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time update. So, but yes, I will be having a shop update January 30th on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you can make it. Let me go get some skeins that will be in the shop on Monday. So, backed by popular demand, I will have some more Mexican hot chocolate, which here you can see this is on my narwhal base at the top, and then this is on my wilderness base at the bottom, which, by the way, if you're curious, wilderness is a fingering weight yarn. It's 20%, 55%, 25% kid mohair, superwash merino, and nylon. So it has a very nice halo to it. It makes for sturdy socks, or definitely a garment, I would say. Yeah, I definitely want to knit something with this at some point very soon, but I really like it. And yeah, so that. And then of course Evil Queen is back in the shop on Monday. So here we have it on, again, on Wilderness, and here we have it on Blitzed. Go. And then I will also have some Black Pearl on several bases. And then I will also have some Enjoy the Silence, which, by the way, I also posted about this on Instagram yesterday. I saw these two colorways together, Black Pearl and Enjoy the Silence, and I feel like I have to knit something with these immediately, although I don't know what. And I have been toying with the idea of designing something because it has been a year since I designed a pattern. My last pattern was Vildes Meer, which is a shawl that I designed. And yeah, I would like to get back in the habit of designing, or into a habit of designing, more patterns for my shop, because I feel like I only have 2 patterns in there right now, and it's kind of sad. So I definitely want to build on that. But so yeah, stay tuned. We'll see. I'm experimenting a little bit with some design ideas, letting them bounce around in my head. But I think this has to become something soonly. So there is that. And then Love Song will be back in the shop. Here it is on Wilderness again. There we go. Which is a Valentine's Day colorway. And then Dirty on Purpose will be in the shop on several bases. Here it is on Volca. So there's that. And then this is a free swim colorway that happened to pop out of the dye pot because I was having fun one day. And this is called Stardust. So one of a kind, will not be dyed up again. Just really lovely speckles, kind of like a gray base. Yeah, just multicolored speckles, and yeah, it just reminded me of Stardust, because we're all Stardust, right? So yay! All right, so that's it for the shop update. Again, it's going to be on Monday, this Monday, January 30th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you can make it. And again, if you would like to be informed, I always post shop update stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and more recently I started doing a newsletter, so definitely check out the newsletter. You can go to voolenvineyarns.com, scroll all the way down and sign up for it, and I will do my best to keep you guys updated and in the loop on a weekly basis as far as news and events and new patterns maybe, and shop update info. So check it out. Hope you can make it, and yay! So I'm gonna move along to Blather, where I chat about what's been going on in my life, should you care to stick around and hear about it. But yeah, I also just want to say quickly again, thank you to everybody who has introduced themselves in the YarnGasm Ravelry group. Again, I read all of them, and it's just so heartwarming hearing your stories and where you come from and how you discovered the podcast. So please know I do read them, and I do, tick the love box at the bottom just to let you know that I have read them. But thank you so much for all of your comments in there. And yeah, and again, if you would like to get in touch with me, email is the best way, because I rarely, if ever, only for giveaway prizes do I check my Rav mail. So yes, email, definitely the best way to get in touch. But anyway, as far as what's going on in my life, Dennis, what's going on in my life? Dennis, by the way, he has pretty much been studying for an architecture exam, as I think I mentioned this last week. So we've pretty much been hunkered down for the weekends, which is totally fine by me, because that's when I can get the most crafting done. That's when I take, I relax and just get out, work on projects that I want to work on. So it's been nice that we've been able to stay home and just do that. And yeah, this weekend is my birthday. Well, I guess it's my birthday weekend. My birthday isn't until Tuesday, but technically it is my birthday weekend, so I don't know. We are gonna get together with my in-laws on Sunday, so that'll be nice to get out of the city and see them. And then Saturday, I think it's just gonna be a quiet day of Dennis studying and me just getting my dress done and just crafting a little bit. We did go see, we did do some stuff. We did go to the movies last weekend. We saw La La Land. We actually went to the Alamo Draft House. Which is, I believe it started in Dallas, Texas. It's a chain movie theater, which is really cool. If you're not familiar with it, it's where you go to the movies, but they have a table so you can order drinks and food, and they will bring it to you during the movie. It's a really awesome idea, and it's not, my only gripe with it is that if we go again, which we will, I will probably just have dinner before and order maybe like a snack or dessert and drinks at the theater, because I ordered a full main course. We hadn't eaten at all, so of course I ordered the salmon, and I could not see what I was eating because it was so dark in there. But it was fine. I managed somehow. But yeah, otherwise we saw La La Land, and I heard mixed reviews about it. I know Katie from Inside Number 23 had mentioned that they had gone to see it, and they were kind of on the fence about it. I know a couple of other podcasters have seen it. Who was I was watching? Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention a new podcast. If you are on the prowl for a new podcast, definitely check out Squirrel Pie Productions. It's hosted by Tommy, who is Dynamite Trujillo on Ravelry. So hi, Tommy. But yeah, she had gone to see it and raved about it, and so I kind of went in with with no real expectations at all. I was like, I knew I was either going to love it or not hate it or be kind of meh about it. So, but yeah, I will be totally honest. I just left the theater feeling a little underwhelmed, if that makes any sense. And I couldn't help, but you can't really compare it to Moulin Rouge, but I feel like Moulin Rouge was my ultimate favorite musical when it came out in theaters. It was just, I have the soundtrack and everything, I know the words to it. This, I feel like the songs were nice, they were good songs, but so, without getting into too much detail, I will just say maybe like 1 to 5, I give it a 3 on the ratings chart, which is unfortunate because I really did want to like it, but it just left me wanting more at the end, if that makes any sense. So anyway, that's my film review for today without spoiling too many things. But I think I won't say don't go and see it. Definitely go check it out if you love musicals. You'll definitely have a good time. It's definitely one of those fun, lighthearted, musicals, if you will. So anyway, that was our weekend last weekend. And then this week, let me see what happened. yeah, just a busy week of dyeing yarn, you know, for the shop update, and I'm trying to think, yeah, like it's just been a busy week, just with sewing and everything, and yeah, definitely a productive week. The news, I won't even go there, so we're leaving that out of this. This is a happy place. We're leaving that topic out of this. So moving along, yeah, again, tonight is Friday. I cannot believe it. Yeah, today I'm having a treat yourself day. So I'm kind of giving myself the day off while taking care of some, obviously, podcasting, getting the podcast out, but I have scheduled a massage for myself. I'm going back to my favorite massage place, Massage Williamsburg in Williamsburg, and I cannot believe it's been, the last massage I had was in August, so that's quite some time. My back is kind of screaming and crying. It's in a little bit of pain, if you will, so I'm definitely overdue for some kind of relief. So but yeah, this place that I go to, they're excellent. They know their stuff, so I have no problem treating myself every once in a while, although the prices did just go up this year, which kind of stinks, but I do get $20 off for my birthday, so I have that going for me. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having a nice spa day today, and then who knows, maybe Dennis and I will go out to eat after, somewhere local maybe. I don't know, we'll see. And then yeah, that should be that. No real birthday plans, other than maybe just dinner with the mister, and yeah, I don't know. I don't, you know, I don't want, I'm not, for some reason this year, I don't want to do any big parties or anything. Normally, if it's on a weekend, I love the idea of just getting a bunch of friends together at a, you know, a bar or a restaurant and, you know, having a couple drinks and calling it a night. But I think this year I'm just feeling it, you know, low key, just a quiet dinner with Dennis, and that's all I could ask for. And that's all I need. So anyway, I think that is it for this week. I'm already getting the flashing battery. Wrap it up, closing song, whatever you call it, whatever they play at the Academy Awards or something. They always have the wrap up music, so I should start playing that right now. But anyway, that said, happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.